The Geopolitical Showdown, a high-stakes game of strategy, power, and diplomacy in the grand arena of global politics, where nations compete for dominance, influence, and survival. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has become the most electrifying match of the century. This isn't just a battle of borders, it's a high-stakes game of strategy, endurance, and raw power. And like any great sporting event, it's filled with dramatic twists, unexpected plays, and moments that leave the world on the edge of its seat. The opening play. Russia's bold move of game began with Russia's aggressive opening move, the annexation of Crimea in 2014. This was no ordinary play. It was a calculated power grab that sent shockwaves through the international community. Crimea, a strategic peninsula with deep historical and cultural significance, became the first trophy in Russia's quest for dominance. The move was met with outrage from Ukraine and its allies, but Russia stood firm, doubling down on its position. Fast forward to 2022, and Russia escalated the game by annexing for more regions: Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia, and Kherson. These territories, rich in resources and strategic value, became the new battlegrounds in this geopolitical showdown. Russia's playbook was clear: control the board, dictate the terms, and force Ukraine into a defensive position. Ukraine's counterattack, resilience, and resolve. Ukraine wasn't about to back down. Under the leadership of President Volodymyr Zelensky, the team rallied with unwavering determination. Zelensky, a former comedian turned wartime leader, emerged as the underdog hero of this match. His message was simple yet powerful: we will not trade land for peace. This mantra became the rallying cry for a nation fighting for its survival. Ukraine's strategy was multifaceted. On the ground, its military forces launched counteroffensives, reclaiming key territories and pushing back against Russian advances. On the diplomatic front, Zelensky and his team worked tirelessly to secure international support, turning the global audience in their favor. The United States, European Union, and NATO became key allies, providing weapons, funding, and moral support. The nuclear wildcard, a game-changing threat. One of the most dramatic moments in this match came when Russia raised the stakes by threatening to use nuclear weapons. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, became a focal point of tension. Both sides accused each other of endangering the facility, turning it into a potential ticking time bomb. The International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) stepped in as the referee, deploying a monitoring team to prevent a catastrophic meltdown. The nuclear threat added a layer of intensity to the game, reminding the world that this wasn't just a regional conflict, it was a global crisis with far-reaching consequences. The specter of nuclear war loomed large, forcing both teams to tread carefully. The U.S. as the strategic coach under the United States, the seasoned coach with a playbook full of strategies. Under President Donald Trump, the U.S. took a hands-on approach, engaging in direct negotiations with both Russia and Ukraine. Trump's game plan was unconventional. He proposed a deal where the U.S. would take over Ukraine's energy supply, including its nuclear power plants. This bold move was met with mixed reactions, but it underscored America's commitment to shaping the outcome of the match. U.S. Energy Secretary Christie backed the plan, stating that Washington had the expertise to manage Ukraine's Soviet terror facilities. Meanwhile, Yuri Chich, the Russian-appointed director of the Zaporizhzhia plant, fired back, declaring that no one but Russia would control the facility. This clash of wills highlighted the high-stakes nature of the game. The diplomatic playoffs, negotiations, and ceasefires. As the match dragged on, the focus shifted to the diplomatic arena. In March 2024, a series of high-level talks were held in Saudi Arabia, with delegations from the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine sitting down at the negotiating table. The goal was clear: broker a ceasefire and find a path to peace. U.S. Envoy Steve Walt described the talks as a shuttle diplomacy effort, with mediators moving between rooms to facilitate dialogue. The discussions centered on key issues: territorial control, energy security, and safe shipping in the Black Sea. WAP emphasized that territorial disputes were the biggest hurdle, but he remained optimistic about finding a resolution. The endgame. What's at stake? As the match enters its final stages, the stakes couldn't be higher. For Russia, the game is about asserting its dominance and securing its place as a global power. For Ukraine, it's a fight for survival, sovereignty, and the right to determine its own future. And for the US and its allies, it's about maintaining global stability and preventing the conflict from spiraling out of control. The outcome of this match will have far-reaching implications. Will Russia succeed in its quest for territorial expansion? Will Ukraine emerge victorious, reclaiming its lost lands and securing its independence? Or will the game end in a stalemate, with both sides forced to accept a fragile peace? The final whistle, a call for unity and resolution as the world watches this geopolitical showdown unfold. One thing is clear, this is more than just a game. It's a test of humanity's ability to resolve conflicts, uphold justice, and build a better future. The players on the field, whether they're leaders, soldiers, or diplomats, hold the fate of millions in their hands. The final whistle hasn't blown yet, and the outcome remains uncertain. But one thing is certain, the world is watching, and the lessons learned from this match will shape the course of history for generations to come. Conclusion. A match for the aegis. Russia-Ukraine conflict is more than a battle for territory. It's a clash of ideologies, a test of resilience, and a reminder of the fragility of peace. As the game continues, the world must come together to support the resolution that prioritizes justice, stability, and the well-being of all involved. Whether through diplomacy, negotiation, or sheer determination, the ultimate goal must be to end the conflict and pave the way for a brighter, more peaceful future. This is a match for the ages, one that will be remembered not just for its intensity, but for the lessons it teaches us about courage, unity, and the power of hope.